Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Alakazam Live. Now, before we get started, actually, let me introduce you to our co-host, as always, Mr. Wayne Goodman, rather than having him just sit there waiting to come on. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Good, yeah. We're actually early. It's not even 2 o'clock.
Oh, that's because we started
Look at
late, so I cut the countdown time,
that.
the countdown time down. So last night, I went to the Magic Circle, the first time in about 2 years, apart from when I've visited J-Day. And it was the Close-Up Magician of the Year competition. It was a great competition, and the winner was our very own Chris Harding. So if anyone doesn't know Chris started his magical journey working for Alakazam when he was about 14 years old. And he was with me for
14?
Yeah, he was. I remember the little cheeky chappy, full of energy. So Chris won it, fantastic act. We had Tim Sutton come second, and Henry White came third. And there was some great performers on there. I'm a big fan of Tom Wright. Tom was on there, done a fantastic act. And yeah, Paul Pickford was on there. Paul's great as well. It was a really strong lineup. Roman was on there, Roman Armstrong as well. Brilliant act. They were all really, really good. And it was a great evening. And it was great just to go and, see people I haven't seen in a long time. Harry came down, the first time I think he's ever been to the Circle on a club night, and he got to meet his hero. So it was Ian Wright. Why have you muted, Wayne? I know Ian Raymond Walker's going to be happy about that. But you're muted. I'll tell you what, while you're muted, I'm going to play this.
As you know, Alakazam Magic is a family business that was started in 1990, and the goal has always and will always be to produce the best magic tricks taught by the best magicians around the world, where every routine release can be performed in the real world to real people. Now, when I joined the company full-time in 2017, I realised so much of Alakazam's history was embedded in DVDs. Whenever I'd speak to my dad about learning a new trick, he'd hand me an Alakazam DVD. And when I watched it, it was just full of pure gold that not many people knew about. And that's where we came up with the idea for Alakazam Unlimited.
Right, that little teaser. You're back. Very good. So that little teaser. Sorry?
I don't know why I did that.
No. So let me just explain. That little teaser says March 2024. The actual launch date of Alakazam Unlimited is the 27th of this month, 27th of February. We're going to have a live launch party, so join us for that to find out exactly what it is. And I will say this morning I got a very exciting message from Jamie Dawes saying it's ready. So as of tonight, we will have beta testers in there, having a look around and reporting back any little bugs they may find. Hopefully they won't find any. But it's going to launch on the 27th, and I am really excited. This has been a project that we have all been working on for about a year.
A big, probably one of the biggest projects I've ever worked on for anybody.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's so big and so exciting. It's so good to see it all. It's like that moment when you're doing a jigsaw, isn't it? And you start off and it's all over the place, and then it starts to take shape, and then as you're getting towards the end, and it all makes that picture, and you can see what you're doing. And yeah, we're in that bit now where we're heading towards the final stroke.
And bearing in mind, Jamie joined us on the 1st of January, and this has been his full-time job since then. He has worked on it non-stop for over a month now. And it looks amazing. The work he's put into it is incredible. And when we were first talking about it and designing it, this was way before we even discussed bringing Jamie on board. But it would never have been what it is now.
Oh, no.
Never.
It's far surpassed what I thought it was going to look like. And I mean, I was on there yesterday with you, and we were looking, and I was just speechless.
Yeah.
How beautiful it is, amazing. And yeah, I'm not going to say anything else, but yeah. Absolutely brilliant.
So that's Ian Raymond Walker said, thank goodness they're not going to have a prolonged overhyped campaign for Unlimited. You're going to see a couple more teasers coming out. I think most of you have worked out the basis of it, but there is more involved than what you might think. So, yes. You know, it's going to be great. Very exciting.
A few jaws dropping.
Yeah,
people will be surprised and pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think they're in for a real treat.
Yeah, most certainly. So exciting stuff's been happening at Alakazam. Yesterday we had a big delivery from Penguin. So we've got some of our great selling Penguin items back, like Inverso, which we sold out of really quickly, Chop Shop, which we sold out of really quickly, the new limited edition. These are all back in stock, plus we got a couple of new items I'll be dropping the trailers for in a moment. Now, both of these items we've been getting emails about, you know, are you getting these in, when will you get them in? They're here, so we'll talk about them later. Another thing that I have been sort of teasing for a while is an older Alakazam item that's been off the market for around about 4 years, I think, maybe, is going to be making a comeback this year. We're going to have 50 units with us at Blackpool, and the official release will most probably be March or April this year. And I've got a little teaser trailer for it. So I'll drop that now. If for any reason our live stream cuts out, please let us know in the chat. Anyway, let's take a look at this.
After years of being unavailable, the King is back.
Right, that's a little bit over the top. But let me explain. So last night, as I was leaving the Magic Circle, someone made me aware of another version of card from box coming out, which is obviously fine. But then I saw this other version was sort of comparing itself to the extractor and naming the extractor and everything else. This is basically just in response to tell you that the extractor has been road tested by many professional magicians over the years. And it's one of those things, it is a custom designed, custom built effect or utility that is designed specifically for the purpose it's used for. This isn't, doctoring a regular deck and, making do with it. This is a custom designed, custom made gimmick. We just thought we'd put a Rocky theme to it, just to let people know what it is. But the E2 is coming back. There's a lot of people here that obviously own the E2. So yeah, it's coming back.
It is one of those things that, I know that when it went off the market and things happen, I wanted to get another one and I couldn't. I was kind of a bit gutted. It's one of those ones that people have been looking forward to a return, and if you don't know it, you haven't seen it before, then you're in for a real treat, because it is absolutely amazing.
And not only the gimmick itself, but the routines that were created for the E2. Bearing in mind, I teach, and you see it on one of the performances there, I teach signed card, in position, in sealed deck, and the deck's in new deck order. So just think about this for a moment. You get a card selected from a red back deck or a blue back deck. It's signed. It's put back into that deck. That deck goes in your pocket. You now reach into your other pocket, bring out a sealed brand new blue deck. They take the cellophane off themselves. They can break the seal themselves. You take the cards out, get rid of the advertising cards, get rid of the jokers, spread the deck. The deck is in new deck order. And you ask them what card they chose, or you read their mind and tell them what card they chose. And when you remove that card, it is their card with their signature, with the corresponding back colour that they chose, in position. I mean, that's a strong trick.
Well, it's a reputation maker.
Yeah.
That's a killer. There's nothing you can do after that. Nothing you can do. You're the best of the best. That's something people always remember.
Yeah. So we're only going to have 50 of those. It's going to be first come, first serve at Blackpool. But it is coming out officially again at the end of March, I believe. End of March, end of April. And that's going to be also, I believe, we're going to be adding some new routines. As it stands, I think there's over 2 hours worth of tutorial anyway from the original discs. Plus there's going to be performance footage with the legend JS Magic. And there's going to be additional routines from Craig Petty as well. So it is a utility, it's not a trick.
Yeah. Do you know, I've told this story before, but one of my favourite things with the extractor was when it first came out, you did a video with Spellman.
Yeah.
And you did a thing where he signed a card, he looked at a card and put it back in the deck. You put the cards in your pocket without doing anything, you just put the cards in your pocket. And then he was being a bit Jack the Laddish, like he does. And you touched him on the head, on the thing, and went, oh, And you went, it was a black card. And he goes, yeah. And you go, it was a spade. He goes, yeah. And all of a sudden, you see the moment it clicks that, hold on, you're not fishing. You know what? And his whole demeanour changes. He looks at you, and you go 6 of spades or whatever the card was, and he goes, yeah. And it's a proper powerful moment. Well, yeah, just it was one of my almost all-time favourite like magical trade members.
Well, it is. A lot of people recall. I remember speaking to Craig Petty about it, and a few other people. I've said this story before, but I was behind the dealer's stand at Blackpool, and it was Dave Jones, come up to me and said, show me something I haven't seen before. So I looked in my close-up case, and about 2 years prior, we were releasing a trick called the Riser Deck by Mark Elston. While Rob Bromley was making that Riser Deck, he designed the original E2, and he sent it to me and he said, have a look at this. I looked at it and I went, oh, that's neat, and I shoved it in my close-up case, and it stayed in my close-up case for 2 years, maybe longer, without me looking at it, without me playing with it, without me thinking about it. Didn't know what to use it for, nothing. Dave Jones come up and said, show me something I haven't seen before. Reached into my close-up case, found this extractor, and I made up a routine on the spot, which was the card to pocket, right? They select a card, shuffle a deck, select a card, sign it, put it back, I read their mind, and I produce it out my other pocket. There is no way I thought this was going to fool him, because I was literally jazzing it on the spot. But I knew from his reaction he had zero clue what was going on. So that weekend at Blackpool, I was showing this to everyone. Not showing them, I was performing it to everyone. And when I say everyone, I was picking out people that I thought they will catch it. If anyone's going to catch it, they will catch it. So during that weekend, I showed it to Richard Sanders. I showed it to David Blaine. I showed it to Michael Amar. I showed it to, who else was there? Richard Sanders, David Blaine, David Stone, Etienne Pradier, Paul Gordon, Gary Jones, Angelo Carbone. Literally anyone that I spotted, I was doing this routine to. And the methods they were coming up with, I remember Angelo saying that he thought it was a chute somehow going round my jacket into my pocket and all this. And it was that weekend that made me realise this is powerful, and that's when I started working on the possibilities of the E2, and it actually came out the following Blackpool. So
do you think if Dave Jones hadn't come up to you and said that, it might still be in your case?
100%. 100%. It was literally just sitting in the case, and I didn't give it another thought. It was just because he said, show me something I hadn't seen, and I grabbed it out. But I didn't, at that moment I grabbed it out, I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I made up the routine on the spot. And that's when I realised how psychologically powerful the E2 is. You know, when you can fool the top guys like that obviously know things that could be going on, that's when I started to go, hang on a minute, we've got something absolutely incredible here, you know. But yeah, I'm really proud of the extractor and the work we've put into making it what it is. I mean, the gimmick is beautiful, but more than that, the routines and the possibilities and what it allows you to achieve is incredible, really. Whether you're going to use it close up, parlour or stage, it's just incredible. So let's have a look what's happening here.
while you're looking there, I'm just going to very quickly say I spent the weekend with Craig and Ryland Petty, as well as a host of other amazing magicians like Thomas Maloney. There was Nemed Phoenix. They had Illusion Axe. I got 3 hugs off Nemed on Saturday. I'm taking that as a win.
You got what?
3 hugs off Nemed.
Were they forced?
No, yeah, he made me do them. He was like, "Get over here and give me a hug." The first one, he kind of involved. It was good. I also got to see a young magician called Nia Evans, who's mind-blowingly good. Very, very talented young lady, and an amazing close-upper, and great with those. She does a lot of stuff on camera on Instagram, but doing it live as well, she was amazing. But most of all, I got to see Ryland's Blackpool act, which is very special, very unique. I've kind of been following the progress because Craig's been sending me some videos to watch, and I've seen bits of it. But to actually see it all together was breathtaking. It was so many. There were bits in it. I don't know what. I don't want to spoil it because I want you to go and see it.
Yeah.
But there were bits in it where I go, well, I know how that works. I know that, but I don't know how he's doing it.
Yeah.
And there's one bit, we'll talk about it after Blackpool, and there's just one bit where he does a vanish, and I couldn't work out how he was doing it. It was slow motion in front of my eyes, and I couldn't see it. So he's in the Children's Entertainer of the Year competition. Family Entertainer of the Year competition at Blackpool. And Drew. Now, Drew's been involved in this as well.
Yeah, clever old Drew.
Well, first of all, he's got a warehouse, right? And I've seen videos from them doing rehearsals in the warehouse. This isn't like your normal size garage. This is like an airplane hangar size warehouse. This is like, I look at it going, what the heck? This is huge. But Drew's also built a couple of the pots, but most notably one of the main core pieces of a very bespoke brand new effect or brand new version of an effect for Ryland to perform, and it's brilliant. And I must say, Drew's work is outstanding. It's absolutely amazing.
I think we need to start calling Drew Q.
He is Q, isn't he?
He is Q.
He's in my phone as Lion-O.
I'm going to put him in my phone as Q because if I told him to come around in and stick an ejector seat in my Range Rover, he would do it. He would do it.
Oh, do you know? I was talking to this young girl there, Nia. I was talking to her dad, and he was showing me his car, and he goes, "Oh, lift up the flap where the cigarette lighter is." And when I lifted it up, he's got an actual plunger that says ejector seat on it.
How cool.
He gave me one for my lighter, and it says fire missiles. So it's in the little slot where the lighter goes. So it's going like, it's on annoying. Yeah, press that. But yeah, if you said to Drew, I want this to happen or that to happen, I'm pretty sure he can make it. He's a miracle worker, an absolute miracle worker.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. Phenomenal. Q Perry.
Not too much.
There we go.
His head. Q Perry, yeah. Shame his last name is in Gardens.
Right, so I tell you what, let's talk about a couple of the new items we've got in, and one item that we've had tons of emails about because it was released about a month ago, I believe, and we've just got them in, but we kept having emails going, are you getting this in? Are you getting this in? And it just so happened that we had literally just placed a big order the day before this come out. So we couldn't order until we had, a big enough order. But anyway, let's take a look because this is in stock now and it is great.
Hey, my name's Craig Petty. I want you to do me a favour. Check out these reactions. top of that, this is the Magic Button Project. I want you to imagine something for a minute. Imagine that you're going to tell the spectators, they're going to tell the audience that you're going to let them in on a secret. How magic's done. It's done with a magic button. You take out a card, it's got a big red button on it, it says magic button. You put that on the table. Then somebody picks a card and they sign the card, making it unique. The card's put back in the deck. The spectator shuffles, and at that point, with no moves whatsoever, the spectator can take that magic button card, they turn it over, and it's actually their signed card.
Hold it face down. Shove it in the middle. This time it's going to go to the bottom.
Okay.
Emily, press the button. Harder, Emily. Harder, Emily. No, really smack that thing. No. Too hard. You know what happens if she pushes it that hard?
What?
You have any idea? You got no idea?
You got to pick somebody else. You messed up.
No, Emily. You're not going to believe this. Look at the other side of the card.
Look at it. It's still.
Push it in the pack anywhere you want it yourself. Now, I've told you, it came to the top, it changed, this time it's going to go to the bottom. All right? If it goes to the bottom, you guys are going to go crazy. You ready? Yeah. Press the button, man. Dude, what was your name?
John.
That's too hard. You know why? It'll break the button. Do you know what happens when you break the button? Turn it over.
I'm scared. Stop it.
Come on!
Good job. Good job.
Close-up magic does not get any stronger than this, and leave your audience with an incredible souvenir that they will remember forever. Now, the Magic Button Project comes with an entire gaff deck full of a ton of different cards that you can combine together to perform absolute miracles with tons of different effects. So no matter what type of performer you are, there's something for everybody. And we've included an absolute ton of reveal cards, which means that you can do this over and over again. If you want to have incredible, insane reactions when you perform close-up magic, if you want to do something that people will remember forever, if you want to have a moment in your act that people will be talking about forever, then you want to pick up the Magic Button Project. I'm telling you right now, it's a killer.
So that is Magic Button in stock now. Next week I'm going to try and find a trailer without Craig on it. I'm going to have a look. That's another Craig Petty killer.
I saw it live at the weekend. Craig did it to me over Zoom, and then he did it to me live when I was with him. And I just didn't get it. I couldn't work out how that card was on the table the whole time. I mean, it's so well done and so well structured. It fried me.
Yeah.
So yeah, highly recommended.
It's very good. And it's, it's great. I will say, just to throw this out there, Alakazam have been working on a similar project for a long time by Phil Tilston, and I did tell Craig this when he first told me about Magic Button about a year ago. It's all filmed. It's been filmed for about 3 years. It hasn't been out yet, but I just wanted to throw that in because at some point it is going to come out, and I don't want people to go, you've copied Magic Button. You're going to see by the shading of my hair, and maybe I've got a bit more of it, you'll be able to date the video.
Harry's walking around the back with his nappy on.
Yeah. But it's great. Honestly, Magic Button, that's in stock now. And once again, it comes with great tutorials by Craig. And the thing is with Craig Petty, whenever you buy a Craig Petty release, he really does explore everything with the gimmick. You know, he really does look at it, and he delves deep into it to give you every ounce of magic that's gonna that's going to produce. And you see that with his coin sets, you see it with Evoke, everything he does. He puts so much time into it to make it the best it can be. So when you purchase it, you're not just getting the one trick, he's giving you options, you know. And that's the same with the extractor. I think the extractor was mostly the first gimmick that went that in depth with what was possible. I mean, that was 2 DVDs we supplied with the extractor, or maybe the Assassin was.
I remember you saying years ago when it first came out as well, that yeah, it came with 2 DVDs and a whole host of things, but that was literally just like the tip of the iceberg of what you can do with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can add it into any kind of routine, any kind of presentation, and it's a bit of an overused and old-fashioned term, but it's a proper workhorse, like the Assassin. The Assassin's another one. You can do so much versatility. It's. I can't wait. I think it'll be those 50 will fly out of Blackpool.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. But guys, that is Magic Button. That's in stock now. So if you've been after one, go grab one off the site. It's a great trick, and it's brilliant. And Craig, as always, goes very, very in depth. So anyone that's joining us a bit late, just want to say I went to the Magic Circle last night. It was Close-Up Magician of the Year, and it was won this year by our very own Chris Harding. Chris used to work for us, fantastic magician, had a brilliant act. So Chris come first. We had the fantastic Tim Sutton come second, and Henry White came third with, once again, all 3 of the acts were great. I want to give some honourable mentions as well to Tom Wright and Paul Pickford. Paul's had a DVD out with Alakazam called The BS Project. And everyone there deserves a big round of applause. Everyone did well. It's obviously a night full of pressure, really. You're performing in front of your peers, which is never an easy thing to do.
No.
So, yeah. Paul Silk said...
The Magic Circle is, the Magic Circle is always a bit nerve-wracking if you're going to be performing there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's performing at your local Magic Club, and then there's the Magic Circle. It's a big switch up. There's a lot more pressure there. Yeah,
and it's quite a weird thing, really, because it's Close-Up Magician of the Year, but you are performing more parlour. So you've got Chris done like a close-up act, something that he could do round tables and everything. But it's really a parlour setting. You've got an audience sitting in front of you rather than, dealing one-to-one. So they do very well to do what they do in that sort of arena. So, a few things coming in. Paul Silk said, "Hi Peter, when will you have Dead Man's Deck Deluxe back in stock?" We did have them yesterday. I don't know if they've sold out again, but check the website, Paul. Magic Alon says hello. I think Magic Alon might be joining us on the live next week.
Oh yeah, him and Toma are coming over together. I think
he's visiting with our very first VIP. The very first person to hit VIP status was Tomar, and he's popping in.
One of the loveliest people, one of the nicest people you'll ever meet.
He is the smiliest person. He's so happy, Tomar. Magic Alon said he's so excited for next Tuesday. Jason Staples said, "Any advice on joining the circle? Is Wayne a member?" We did have this conversation yesterday.
Yeah, I was, at least. I think I still am. I haven't been kicked out. I need to check my status. But I am AIMC associate in a Magic Circle. I did a lecture for them about 6-7 years ago. It's good. It's a good club to be part of. It's a prestigious thing to say to people. And they say, "Are you a member of the Magic Circle?" You can say, "Yes, you are." And yeah, any advice? Well, I think nowadays you get someone to walk you through it, don't you? You get a mentor.
Yeah, you can join as an apprentice now, Jason. So basically, to enter the Magic Circle, you've got to do an exam. To become a member, you've got to do an exam. Now, the best advice I can give is do effects that you know and you're comfortable with. That's it. Your effects have got to show a level of skill, but I would make sure they're things that you know. The worst thing to do, and I've seen so many people fall at this hurdle, is they create magic or they try and do routines that are a bit out of their comfort zone because they're trying to fool the magicians in there.
Yeah.
And you know, if you're going to do that, I think you're opening yourself up to concentrating too much on the routine rather than your presentation. You're opening yourself up to maybe messing up the effect because you're not that comfortable with it. And those are things you definitely don't want to happen. Just do tried and tested material. And I will say there's been a couple of people that I've helped get into the circle, help them with their routines. And when they first come to me, their routine is good, but you know it's not something they've performed. And we've ended up changing it to something they're comfortable with. So it gets down to me saying to them, what routines do you perform? This, and this. Right, we'll build a routine out of that. You know, and then I help them structure it and tweak it and, you know, tighten it up a bit. But
you need to know it inside out and back to front.
Yeah, 100%, because a lot of it is you and your performance. I mean, the material is obviously very important, but a lot of it is how confident and comfortable you are with your material. They want someone that they're happy to represent the circle. That's the thing. So, yeah. Right, Paul Silk said it's sold out. So hopefully next week, Paul. Sorry about that. But make sure you put your details in the Remind Me box, because the moment we put the stock level in, an automatic email will be sent to you. So it will tell you the moment we put the stock in. So you'll be the first to know more stock's there. Yeah, Drew Perry said the legend that is David Minton coordinates a lot of the apprentice schemes and will look after you. That's true. And David was one of the people I helped structure his routine as well. He went through the routine with me a few times, and we had a few Zoom sort of meetings going through the effects. David's a great guy, and he's a good person to be involved in the apprentice scheme as well. So the apprentice scheme means you can join without taking your exam. And once you're an apprentice, you have a year before you need to take your exam. So it's a good thing to do. If you're not confident in taking your exam yet, it's a good thing to do.
Also means that you can go along and see other people doing their exams and get a feel for what they're doing and how they're doing it.
Yeah.
So that you know what you're going to be stepping into, as opposed to, you know, oh, you've got a month before your exam, you don't get to see anybody else doing it. You know, if it's a year, you've got plenty of time to go down and see somebody else doing it and go, right, okay, that's like that and that's like that. I can do that and make that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. And, you know, at the end of the day, the Magic Circle wants you to become a member.
Yeah.
They don't want to turn people away. They want you, so they will give you the help.
Yeah, it's not an obstacle. It's not an obstacle. It's just an entrance to get in.
Yeah. Paul Morley says, is the Magic Circle for working professional magicians only? Not at all, Paul. Not at all. There are so many people in the circle that are just hobbyists that do not perform. It's just a club for magicians, people with a love of magic, whether you perform for your family and whether you just enjoy doing it for yourself. You do have to go through the exam, so you will have to, perform to them, but you don't have to be a performing pro to be a member. Not at all.
Yeah, there are members of the circle who have never performed in their life, and there are people who like me and you, do it full time, or in one aspect like that. So yeah, you're not tied to one or the other.
No, not at all.
I'm losing my voice over there.
Darren Rotherham said, I think I'm going to apply for the circle. Darren, I'm actually surprised you're not already a member, mate. I always presumed you were. John Williams just ordered a Vogue. You'll love a Vogue. Darren Bain, any idea when Bangarang by Nicholas Lawrence is likely to be back in stock? I'm not sure. Check the website now, see if it's in there. I'm not too sure on that one. I don't think I've seen that. Theo said, just got a Vogue this morning and I'm putting in my order for Magic Buttons today.
You love Magic Buttons. So cool.
Yeah, it's very good. Smorikin put, great interview on the deep dive, Peter. Thank you very much. Yeah, for anyone that didn't watch the deep dive, I got the deep dive. I got to interview Mark Bennett last week about Dead Man's Hand and Get Smarty, two great effects. So if you haven't seen that, take a look on YouTube, or alternatively have a look under the products on our website. And I did put the the video under there as well. Will you be stocking Magic Button refills? Yes, we will at some point. Tom Rolfe put the club nights at the Magic Circle are excellent. So many great discussions, and the library is to die for. Really is. And Quinton says, when is Extractor 2 coming back out? Right, if you are going to Blackpool, we will have 50 units on our stand. First come, first serve, 50 units. I'll be surprised if they don't sell out on the Friday, but if you want one, come along, pick it up. The official release will be the end of March, I believe. March, April. So, yeah. Please pop along. We may actually start pre-orders after Blackpool.
So just for people who haven't been to Blackpool before, Pete, where can they find the Alakazam stand?
In the ballroom somewhere. You'll be able to describe it better than me.
So as you come into the main dealer's hall, there are two ways you can go. You get to the middle bit, you go forward into the horseshoe, which is obviously a semicircular, or you go down the steps into the ballroom. You go down the steps into the ballroom, you will see everything laid out in front of you, and Alakazam is the very first stand on the second aisle. So you've got the left-hand aisle, which goes down, runs alongside the wall, and then Alakazam is the very first stand on the left on the second aisle across.
Yeah.
So it's very easy to find, and you'll see Peter and Harry and Jenny on the stand. And yeah, you'll be able to go over and see what they've got.
Yeah. So there's loads of questions.
I was just going to say, if you are planning on getting an extractor, make that your first port of call.
Yeah.
Because they will sell very, very fast. And
yeah, there's a lot of people that have been waiting for extractors for quite a few years.
And we can't really put them aside for people. It will be a first come, first served. If you want it, get to the stand and get it. Otherwise, you have to wait until launch.
Yeah. Right. So let me answer. There's a few more questions coming in as well. Theo said, I live in the USA and I've just started making annual trips to the UK. Can a US resident become a member of the Magic Circle? 100% you can, Theo. 100%. And I believe the Magic Circle has got sort of an agreement with the Magic Castle that if you're a member of the Magic Castle, you're treated as a member. If you're a member of the castle, you're treated as a member of the Circle, and vice versa. So it's a great organisation, Theo, and if you're over here in the UK and you've got a spare Monday evening, it'll be great to visit. I think you'll absolutely love it. If you need any advice or help on it, give us a shout here at Alakazam and we'll do our best to help you out. Let me see what else is happening.
I would just say that a minute ago you mentioned Tom Rolfe. Well, Tom's Canadian.
Yes.
And he's a member. And they've got members all over the world. So, yeah, they have a different structure for membership. So you have a local structure for people who live around London. If you live so many miles away, you're a countryside member. And then if you live abroad, you're an overseas member. So there are different things. But I think they do since the lockdown, they do quite a lot of stuff as well online. So
every Monday night now, see, that's the other thing. If you were an overseas member before, there wasn't really much benefit. You got the magazine.
And the name.
You got the magazine, you got the name, you could visit when you were over. But now, as an overseas member, you can not only dial in on a Monday night and watch the stream on Zoom and everything else, but you can also get the back catalogue of performances and everything else. So it's now, really, there's no difference between being an overseas member and being a UK member. The only difference is obviously we can take a trot into London and visit the circle whenever we want, whereas it's a bit harder for you guys. But you will still be able to watch the Monday night lectures and things like that. So yeah, it's really worth doing. It's a great club. Rob Scott said, where can we find you, Wayne, at Blackpool? Pray tell.
Oh, at Blackpool. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you, Rob.
I was going to say, he's right here.
Yeah, I'm here. So I got pulled over by the policeman. He said, can you identify yourself? I looked in the mirror. I went, that's me. Oh, I didn't tell you my new joke, though, Pete. Do you know, Pete, before I get on to Blackpool bits, Pete, do you know what, when he was alive, do you know what Michael Jackson's favourite thing to do when he wasn't singing? Do you know what he used to like to do? Ski! No. Ski!
Oh, ski! Yeah, no, that was all right. Right, go on, you tell them where you are.
I thought that was quite funny. So my stand is going to be in the Horseshoe. I'm about just over halfway around the Horseshoe. So as you go in and you go round you'll follow it round to the right. I'm on the right hand side, and I'm actually next to Craig Petty's Magic TV stand. And on my other side, I've got the amazing Ian Bailey. So it's going to be very, very, very nice company on either side of me. So I've got Matt Cluley and Craig on my left and Ian Bailey on my right. And I've got my daughter on the stand with me. And I've got a special guest coming on the stand.
Oh.
You'll have to come and see who that is because, a very talented little magician who wants to perform one of the effects and do a little bit of demming. So, come and find out who that is on the stand. That'll be happening over the weekend. That's it. Nice meeting. Look forward to seeing you. I am very excited for Blackpool. I know you are as well, Pete.
Yeah, very, very excited. It's always a great time. It's a busy time, you know, for us getting ready to Blackpool. The same way it has been for you as well. It's your first year as a dealer as Wayne Goodman. And there's so much to arrange and make sure is all ready. So it's great. We have a great time there. Thomas said, Peter, will you be offering cuddles with every purchase at the Alakazam stand at Blackpool? Of course. No different this year than any year.
Who said that?
Thomas Maloney. If anyone wants a Nardi hug, they can have a Nardi hug. I know that Nemid's now joined us here, so on the chat. So
I'm pretty sure as well. If you see Nemid walking around, go over and give him a hug.
Yeah, Nemid loves
shy
it.
Guy, so you don't have to ask him. Just go over, give him a hug. He absolutely loves that. It's his favourite thing. And if you want to find him, he'll probably be behind my stand anyway because he comes over to me for hugs all the time. So he'll be there. Can I have a hug, Wayne? Of course you can. It's fine.
Well, I've been giving Nemid just a manly, good old blokey hug. But
Yeah.
I'm feeling I've got to turn more Italian, and I've got to do the kiss on the cheek with him next time.
He'll start nibbling your ear.
Yeah, I think he'll like that. I'm sure. I mean, yeah, I think I'm going to try that with him next time. The kiss on the. I mean, everyone. I'm Italian. It's natural for me, and I think Nemid will enjoy it and will not feel uncomfortable at all.
In some ways, if he stops you, that could be deemed as a bit offensive, really, if he doesn't let you do that. Culturally
Well,
offensive.
yeah. No, that's a very good point, Wayne. Very good point.
I'm going to get messages coming through any second in a minute. Is that the key? There's one thing, just to say it serious again, there's one other thing I want to mention very quickly. Behind your head, Peter, there is a trick that came out a couple of weeks ago by Nicholas Mavresis. Other side, keep going, there we go. If you have Valentine's Day shows coming up, that is a must-have for Valentine's Day. We're fast approaching the end of January. You've got time to get an order in and get one. You will love this. It's the anniversary waltz upgraded. It really is, and you know what I mean. It's so good, and for weddings, and when you're doing, especially in a restaurant or you're doing a Valentine's event or any weddings on Valentine's Day, that has got to be top of your list of tricks to perform for the couples. So yeah, don't miss out on it, because you'll see it after Blackpool and you'll go, oh, I wish I'd got that for Valentine's Day. And yeah. Now's your chance. Yeah.
Trent, one of the Alakazam from the USA, has said, will we be doing live streaming from Blackpool? So this year we've got Jamie Dawes coming with us to Blackpool. Jamie's whole or sole purpose there is to get content for you guys. So the aim is that Jamie's going to be putting up a different video or a new video every day on our YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. He's also going to be filming some trailers there as well, because we've got some new products planned for later on this year. We're going to get footage while we're there. And he may even do a live stream, and we may do a live stream from the stand as well. So make sure, if you haven't done so already, you like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel, because if we do get a chance to go live, which we are planning to this year, you'll be notified. Make sure you've got your notifications turned on. I've got another trailer to play as well. So there's question. Do you know what, guys? You guys this week have been amazing. There are questions upon questions coming in, and these are what make the lives fun, in my opinion. Answering the questions. So anyway, we've got one more trailer to play, so let's take a quick look at this.
Over 10 years ago, I released a very limited edition of one of my favorite card tricks. One of the things that I would perform as a closer, or if I had to do one trick for a formal audience, this is the kind of thing that I would do. This is not an ordinary deck of cards. This is the amazing color-changing deck of cards. You ready? Here we go. Ta-da! There you are, the amazing color-changing deck of cards. It can do more than just change color though. For example, if you were to think of any card, I'll show you all the cards that are here. You can think of any one that you see there. As soon as you've thought of a card, I'm going to mix the cards up. I'm going to mix them up in two different ways. So half of the cards will be face down and half of the cards will be face up. And then we'll mix them up again. And we'll mix them up nice and slow so you can see as we mix these cards face up and face down. I'm going to go ahead and say that the card must be one of the face down cards that are in here. Has to be. In actual fact, it'll be one of the face up cards, and I've gotten it wrong. So wrong that I have to ask them what card they're thinking of. Now remember, they could be thinking of any card that's here. Let's imagine then that they're thinking of the two of spades. So we'll cut that to the top. Clearly, we didn't get that right, but we can make up for that by performing a couple of miracles. The first miracle is very simple. We wave the deck over the two of spades, and in that instant, everything turns face down. But at exactly the same time, this card turns into a red card. That's pretty impressive, but after a couple of seconds, if we look at the deck over here, the deck now looks red. In actual fact, every single card is red. From front to back. Every single card in the deck. And this is called Spectrum, the amazing color changing deck.
If I do that shadow thing again, that was so cool the first time, every card in the deck actually goes face down. But what's even more interesting is you thought of one card in the deck. One card. Just one. The Ace of Hearts. Turn it over, because it's the only card in the pack with a red back. Not only that card, but every card in the deck turns completely red.
So that is Spectrum, once again, back in stock. Brilliant colour changing deck by R. Paul Wilson.
That's beautiful, that is.
It's great and really easy to do. Really easy to do. Darren Rotherham said, how many proposers and seconders? You just need one of each, and of course I will be your proposer, Darren. So yeah, I'll give you my number and you know my name.
Well, that was very Bond-esque.
Thank you.
You know my name.
Theo, we will do our best to do you a live stream from Blackpool. But like I said, also guys, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, because Jamie's plan is to put up new videos, like a daily update every day on Blackpool. And yeah, it will be good.
Not only that though, Pete, there will be stuff happening through the app as well.
Yes, there will. So throughout... Yeah, so throughout the weekend we're going to have special guests jumping on the stand, including Q Perry, who will be jumping on to demonstrate his brand new effect that will be pre-launched. It will be a soft launch at Blackpool. The official launch won't be till later on in the year, but he'll be there doing a pre-launch of his product. Now, with certain products, me and Harry are not going to be demonstrating them. We're going to leave that to the creator. So the only chance to see those products will be when the creator's on the stand. So we'll let you know, and we'll let you know through the app when a creator is going to be jumping on the stand to demonstrate their new product. When you see that message come up, if that's a product you want to see, make your way back to the stand so you can watch the creator performing it.
Q's trick is brilliant.
Yes.
Also, one of the other creators, can I name the other creator? Or one of the other creators?
Yeah.
Is very, very talented Mr. Martin Pierce, who will be demoing his brand new book test.
Yes, indeed.
Which, in my opinion, is one of the best book tests I've ever seen in my life. It's amazing.
It's great. The whole premise is good. The method is so clever, so devious.
And it's a lovely little book. I mean, that's if I just hold up a deck of cards for comparison. Well, it's the camera. Where am I? There we go. So it's not quite double the size of the deck of cards. Fits in your inside pocket, and the insides are beautiful. If I can turn it which way, that way. Let's get back onto the camera. What am I doing there? There we go. So you can see every page has got text. It's got numbers. It's got pictures. Every page is different, every sequence is different, and it just looks absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the method is ingenious.
And that book can be 100% examined from cover to cover.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about briefly.
You could send that to a client a year before the event, and they could have a year with it and not find one single thing.
Yeah.
So clever. Martin has excelled.
Yeah, he certainly has. So we're coming up to the end of this Alakazam Live, but before we go, just want to drop this once more. So let's take a look at this.
After years of being unavailable, the king is back.
There you go. It's
Beautiful.
coming back. It's coming
The
back.
King.
Yes, indeedy. There was a comment that said, wouldn't it have made more sense to have an Elvis song for the trailer, seeing as it's called The King? No, because that trailer is for a specific purpose. Right, so that brings us to the end of today's Alakazam Live. And I've got to say, I have thoroughly enjoyed it.
It's been, do you know what? I was as we were setting up earlier on, I was going to say this to you before we went on live. The last week has just flown by.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and of course Blackpool is next week, so that's going to fly by. Next week, I'll be doing the live from my car because I'm going to be waiting to pick up my daughter and then head off to Blackpool. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be in my car going live from the car. And it's like, it's a week. I mean, how is that even possible?
I know.
I mean, it's so fast.
Yeah. It's going to be great though. So guys, if you're coming to Blackpool, make sure you pop over to Alakazam and Wayne Goodman and say hello and introduce yourself as part of the Alaka fam. And for anyone that can't make it to Blackpool, we will do our best to keep you updated with all the latest happenings on Facebook and YouTube. So make sure you subscribe, like, and turn your notifications on, all in the right places. And if you have the app, download the app, because who knows, we may go live from the app as well.
You'll also be doing the announcements from when people are there on the app.
Yep.
You know, you don't want to. And the great thing about that is, if it goes up on Facebook, you might not see it on the notification that you got notification. But if it's on the app and you got notification turned on, it'll make a noise on your phone, and you'll know exactly what's going on and where.
Yep. And also, we will be back next Tuesday for an Alakazam Live, so our last one before the Blackpool Convention. And remember, guys, as well, on the 27th of this month, we have got a live event happening on YouTube and Facebook about the launch of Alakazam Unlimited. So please join us for that. It will be 7 o'clock GMT.
Can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
Can't wait. It's going to be great. So once again,
it's just lovely to see it all, like I said, come together. It's there now, you know, and a lot of that is down to Jamie and the hard work he's done, putting it all done, making it, and you know, yeah, you're going to love it.
Yeah, and Jamie might be here for the live next week as well, because he's coming down. So remember, guys, a free Nardi hug with all purchases at the Alakazam stand, and a free Goodman hug with all purchases at the Goodman stand, and a free Nemid hug on all purchases from either of our stands.
That's it.
Yeah.
I might get some little vouchers made up that says entitled you to one hug with Nemed, and then he'll just go up to people and just go, I bought this one, a hug, and he'll have to hug them.
He's so, yeah, you got to love him. Yeah, you got to love him. Gotta love him.
I
Right.
will I know we're overrunning, but I saw him do the card on the forehead routine on stage on Saturday night. And if you ever get a chance to see Nemeth doing I think it's Michael Finney's card on forehead. With a
jumbo card.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
His timing is a masterclass. He's so good, and it's an art form when he does it. So I know we joke about Nemeth and everything, but if you ever get a chance to see him doing that, it is astounding. It's just brilliant. Yeah.
He's great. Love Nemeth. So much so, I'm going to give him an Italian kiss on the cheek.
Yeah, double hugs for Nemeth.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. Hugs all round. Right, we got to go. We got to go. So, Wayne, thank you so much for joining us.
See you on Tuesday from the car.
Indeedy. Right. Thank you all for joining us here on the Alakazam Live. We will see you next week. Have yourselves a great week. If you can't join us next Tuesday and you are heading to Blackpool, have a safe trip. We'll see you there.
As you know, Alakazam Magic is a family business that was started in 1990, and the goal has always and will always be to produce the best magic tricks taught by the best magicians around the world, where every routine release can be performed in the real world to real people. Now, when I joined the company full-time in 2017, I realised so much of Alakazam's history was embedded in DVDs. Whenever I'd speak to my dad about learning a new trick, he'd hand me an Alakazam DVD. And when I watched it, it was just full of pure gold that not many people knew about. And that's where we came up with the idea for Alakazam Unlimited.